Apologies in advance for the name of the anachronism posted Friday, December the 23rd, 2022. Number 3806 is called Stuck on Oklahoma. This one's easy, or should be. I'm a familiar. Like, hang on, I know this one. The Tulsa dispenser doesn't automatically send a Paget or a Brainerd through the wilds of Kansas and Ohio into New York City, but when it does, I feel you, Ron. I feel you, Joe. As back to your respective families you go, come Christmas, or hopefully not the 4th of July. But unless you're hooking bass on a boat somewhere mid-10-killer, Arkansas is prettier. Or at least the river valley between the Ozarks and the Ouachitas, my humble opinion. So maybe we're even. A quadrant for a quadrant, let's say. Even as the derricks send a storm of dirt out into an early dusk that's somehow arid and oily at the same time. It's not a haven for teenagers. Hey, you poets of Ponca City, let's put the world on hold just for a little bit longer. What say you? First we'll head to Tulsa. 5 years premature, meet Ted at the university, or that was the plan, wasn't it? Hey guys, come on down to Fort Smith, won't you? Is just what I said half a decade before being born. I'm just standing here, stuck in a big pile of manure, waiting for you to catch up with me. But nobody'd heard me. When Tulsa finally arrived, it was through the windshield of Papa's secondhand Cherokee pickup, which was a white, but for a maroon stripe, or vice versa, I cannot be certain. But when I emerged from that Jeep, it was too late. Sadness so permeated the trek on I-40, from Alma and across the border and on until, well, after we took that right turn up through Muskogee, that I blew out my very own trail of tears, because at that age I was nothing but an angsty greenhorn with nothing better to do but brood over my own stupid self. Yet I claimed to be a late bloomer. Well, I turned 30 in the poetry section of the library of none other than the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, where I caught up with Ron, Joe, Ted, and all the rest of the gang, stepping every weekday through the hallowed halls of engineers. This here all grown-up queer. So yes, ever so slightly I grew into my boots, got myself educated. It didn't take much else than that, and maybe half a dozen or so group hugs by the best linebackers and quarterbacks in the word business. You get squeezed by a poet, and well, something irreversibly changes, at least in me, though it's no joke that the biggest chunk of me is still that podunk kiddo. This I say to you 60 years after I was born, 5 years premature. And those, my friends, are just a few of the made-to-order memories of being a good neighbor. So as for me and my bookshelf full of pals from Oklahoma, and the ones from the universe with which they hung, where else to go with it but on such an endless repeat? And I do not mean hung from Judge Isaac's barrows. Nope, that will not be, for this story's entirely too sweet. Once again, loop it back and repeat.